Welcome everybody to Deeper with Daniel Packard. Today's topic is how to bring the sexy back online. I know. Now, I read a fair amount of these profiles for research, and I am surprised as I read them and I go through them. I'm always like, where's the flirty, where's the sexy? I'm like, okay, you like your family, you like the outdoors, awesome. Oh, you like your family again. And like nowhere, I'm like, were you neutered at 12? I'm a Mormon. Anybody want to help me churn my butter? Which actually is kind of arousing, but you get the point. There's no sexy in the profile, and considering a number one way to attract men is a little bit of, hey boys, where's the little Betty Boop, woohoo, where's the little, oh my goodness, a little bit of boop boopy doo. I'm not suggesting you actually go boop boopy doo unless I'm at a gay bar, in which case I need free drinks and Red Bull. I'm not saying that profiles have to be highly sexual, and I'm not saying that you have to be all like, hey, who wants the horizontal mambo, which is actually quite painful, but I will just say that considering how sexual women are, I'll just say that the profiles are suspiciously non-flirtatious. Suspiciously low. So again, you know, I listened, I was empathetic, I listened to the sisters, but I decided, believe it or not, to not just take it at face value, and I did some research as the good little social explorer that I was, and I asked some women, I said, hey, why does your profile have all the sexuality of my grandma's old couch? And they were very clear. They were like, well, there are all these very horny men online, and if I put something sexual, then all the horny men will come flying at me. And I'm like, oh my goodness, all these horny men with Spock ears, I had no idea. So, being the good person that I was, and knowing that sometimes, just sometimes, women make some assumptions about male sexuality that they don't actually check out, I did some exploring and I talked to some women. So I went to one woman who had a very conservative profile. She could have been a librarian, totally sexless. Jesus would be proud, although bored. And I said, so, you know, are you getting bombarded by men? She goes, yes, I'm getting bombarded by men just trying to sleep with me. Creepy, creepy, creepy men. It's like, bombarded? That sounds horrible. And I said, how many? And she said, pretty much all of them. I was like, really? Wow, are you sure? She went, yeah. I went, are you sure? Yeah. And I said, out of 10, how many? And she went, well, out of 10? Maybe one. One out of 10. 1 out of 10. It was all, but when you ask a question, it goes down to 1 out of 10. 1 counts as bombarded. I mean, I think, first of all, sometimes women inflate how bad things are. Now, I don't know why you do it. Maybe it's to feel angry or whatever, so you can call the girls and drink red wine. Whatever it is, women tend to amplify how bad things are online. So anyway, 1 out of 10, still too much for her. Fair enough, that's her choice. I went to another woman. This woman's profile, we will just say, is less Christian than the other ones. She had a picture of basically just polka dot bikini perfectly framing her scrumptious honey balls of fleshy deliciousness. That's as best I can say, and yes, I am a poet and I write children's poems. And her tagline was, liquor in the front, poker in the rear. You know, my God, if conservative woman is getting bombarded, what is Miss Poker in the front getting? And I asked her, I was like, how many guys write you and just say want to have sex? And she said, guess what? Guess how many? Guess how many? 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10, just like conservative girl. Do you see where I'm going with this? I kept going. So then I asked another woman, and I said, how many do you get? And she said, 1 out of 10. And I went, well, you know, if you put up a pretty picture, 1 out of 10 guys is gonna come after you. And she was like, I got 1 out of 10 with no picture. Just the second you put the word F next to your gender, boom, the freaks come out at night. The freaks come out. The freaks come out at night. I know, I could have had a rapping career. But the point is, 1 out of 10 guys is horny, or 1 out of 10 is on the internet and he says wanna hump. So girls, really, no matter what you do, 1 out of 10. And that's not that bad. And why wouldn't he? He's on the internet, it's late at night, he's confused. Why wouldn't he be like, wanna hump? You never know, there might be some old single mom that wants to hump. I don't know. theoretically. So I know it's annoying, and I know it's frustrating, creepy. I don't know why guys do it. And frankly, guys, seriously, why are you saying wanna hump? I don't think it's ever worked since camp, and even then it was on a dare, so it doesn't count. But it's kind of freeing. It's 1 out of 10, no matter what. Get used to it, women. Get ready to hear the truth. Men are horny, and we say horny things. And to go online and be like, guys are horny, that's like going to the beach and being like, why is all this sand getting on me? So what I'm suggesting at the end of the day is, why don't you use a little bit of sexiness to attract some loveliness. This has been Deeper with Daniel Packard. Have a lovely, sexy evening.